Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, gratefully recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share with anybody you think might get something out of it. On that, how we all doing today, guys? Another cold, raw day. What's up with the spring around here in Boston this year? I'm not loving it, but that's okay. It's just the weather, and it'll change, right? Stick around long enough, it'll change. Nice, easy day. I decided to sleep in this morning. I had my whole week kind of went screwy. It was really not my normal routine. And after my meeting yesterday, did my video. Had made a nice long dinner last night. And I woke up this morning. I was tired. I'm like, you know what? No big deal. Stayed in bed till 10. Got up, saw a text from my sponsor. I went and grabbed a coffee and went and had a nice, fantastic meeting with my sponsor. Doing the pre-step work and just talking about recovery, and felt good, man. Like, felt really good. So I come home, took the day off. Tomorrow being Easter, happy Easter, by the way, everybody. Two of my brothers invited me over. One of my brothers, the same one I spent Christmas with, does a party at one of his relatives' houses through his kid's mom. And it's a huge spread. They do a big thing every year, and he invited me to go to that, so I'm excited for that. And that's right around the corner from my other brother. Two of my brothers will be there. My third brother will be home right around the corner, and he's invited me over, so I'm going to stop and visit there. And it's funny, I woke up this morning having just realized it was Easter on Friday, not thinking about having any plans. And then before I even had a chance to think about it, boom, invites, and get to spend more time with family and friends, and that feels good because it's been a long, long time since I was involved in stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. The reading today, guys, we're going to get into the reading. It's Guarding Our Recovery, and it's so, these things come so aptly timed. At my brother's event tomorrow, there are going to be about 100 people there, and there's drinking there, just like there was on Christmas, and that's okay. I'm well aware of it. I will have a soda while I'm there. I haven't had any issues with alcohol in 2.5 decades, so I'm okay with that. But it is something that I consider before I sign on to these parties, and it's something we need to consider in recovery. For myself, for a lot of years, in the beginning, I tried to still hang out with all the people that were drinking, and I would do the O'Doul's thing, and then I found out you'd wake up with a hangover from having 4 O'Doul's, and that was just stupid. And then, so from there, I modified my behavior. I'd go out, but I'd leave by 10 o'clock because I don't like being around people when they get sloppy drunk. And nowadays, it's just like, it's a different story. I'm not going to go hang out at a bar. I don't hang out with people that are drinkers. But if there's people having Christmas or Easter celebration and they're going to have a few beers, that doesn't bother me. But I also talked about it with my sponsor today, let them know I'm spending time with family. And for myself, I stay plugged in with my higher power. And I'm working the best recovery program that I've ever worked. Now, not to say that I'm not susceptible to relapse, but I know I'm not today because I've done what I need to do today to not have to worry about that. And again, tomorrow I will do the same. I say that to say, guys, I'm in the best place I've ever been in my life. I don't foresee it, but I know it also doesn't exempt me from it, so that I have to keep working my program every day. So long as I stay real with myself about where I'm feeling and what my motives are to do these things, stay plugged in with my higher power, stay in touch with my sponsor, and stay in touch with my recovery network, always letting people know what I'm doing and where I'm going, then I've done what I need to do to feel comfortable going where I want to go. So anyway, we'll talk about more about that after the reading, guys. Guarding our recovery. Remember that we are ultimately responsible for our recovery and our decisions. Most of us will face choices that challenge our recovery. If we find ourselves in extreme physical pain, for example, we will have to decide whether or not we will take medication. We will have to be very honest with ourselves about the severity of our pain, honest with our doctor about our addiction and our recovery, and honest with our sponsor. In the end, however, the decision is ours alone, for we are the ones who must live with the consequences. Another common challenge is the choice of attending a party where alcohol will be served. Again, we should consider our own spiritual state. If someone who supports our recovery can attend the event with us, so much the better. However, if we don't feel up to the challenge, we should probably decline the invitation. Today, we know that preserving our recovery is more important than saving face. All such decisions are tough ones, requiring not only our careful consideration but the guidance of our sponsor and complete surrender to a higher power. Using all of these resources, we make the best decision we can. Ultimately, however, the decision is ours. Today, we are responsible for our own recovery. Every one of us is. The affirmation is just for today. When faced with a decision that affects my recovery, I will consult all the resources at my disposal before I make my choice. Guys, it's just a good thing to keep in mind. And as I'm doing this reading, the first paragraph of it brought me back to the day that I had, it was June, Father's Day, I believe it was June, Father's Day weekend last year. On Saturday night, I wasn't feeling well. I thought maybe it was something I had eaten, so I'd gone to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I knew something was, seriously wrong. Again, it was the middle of the night. I didn't want to deal with it yet. Went back to sleep. I woke up Sunday morning, and Father's Day morning, and I realized, I'm like, no, there's something wrong. I need to get to the hospital. Like, something's dramatically wrong with me here. So now again, because I've been working my recovery program, I'm on Sublocade, which is an opiate blocker. The last thing that entered my mind was that I would go into the hospital and they would offer me pain meds because in my, and again, to this we'll talk about. So I went in there to get diagnosed, and what I didn't understand was that my appendix had burst and I was about to be going in for emergency surgery. So when I got into triage and I explained the situation, the doctor was pretty sure he knew what it was, and he had me laid, and he went to examine me, and as soon as he started to touch that one spot, I'm like, ooh. And he's like, yeah, we appendicitis, clearly. And he's like, but again, before that even came to bear, the first thing I did when I was being triaged by the nurse and the doctor happened to me, and they're doing paperwork, I told them, I said, listen, first things first, I'm an addict in recovery, I'm a member of the OBAC clinic, I'm on Sublocade, I've got, what I think was 4.5 months clean. I'm not here seeking meds. I'm here to get fixed. And when they set me down for a CAT scan, they came back up and they're like, okay, yeah, I know it's burst. It's not just bad, but it's actually leaking. You're starting to go septic. We'll give you pain meds. What's your pain level? And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, no, I don't want meds. I'm like, I'm on Sublocade. You can't give me meds. And they started to explain to me what they could do, and I shut it down. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, I'm okay. I came in, I drove myself here. I'm walking. Yes, I'm in pain. It's uncomfortable. That's what got me here. I don't want drugs. And I had to make a decision over and over because, again, they come in, they're like, listen, you're going in for surgery. Have you ever had surgery? I'm like, no, I have not. This is my first surgery. I'm like, well, you don't understand this, that, the other. And they were trying to let me know that there were responsible ways they could medicate me. And I'm like, listen, no. At the end of the day, because again, I prayed on it and I just ran it through in my head. And I'm like, no, I can handle the pain. It's going to be, once I have the surgery, yeah, it's going to hurt because they're in there manipulating and cutting pieces out of me. But that will go away. And I can lay in a hospital bed and recover from that. I don't need, and I said to them, I said, listen, if you guys need to give me anything, give me Tylenol or Motrin. That helps the pain. Opiates don't help pain. I've done this for years. I use them to get high. I still feel whatever pain I had, but it just dulls it in the brain. I'm like, and I can't afford that. And I explained that to them. I said, listen, I've gone to great lengths. I don't watch TV. I do subliminal hypnosis and reprogramming, and I do my YouTube channel. I do videos every day. I'm a member of an AA group. I'm like, I've done extreme amounts of work to get myself away from the conniving desire to use drugs. And my concern, because the doctors are like, well, if you use them to subscribe, it's not going to, you'll still have your sobriety date. And I said, a date's a date. It's not my sobriety date that I was concerned with. My concern was, I don't know what's going to happen when that opiate is administered to my brain, because I know what's happened in the past. It's my only thought for the next 10 years. I'm like, no, it's not worth it for me. So that thing, I worked my program. I played the tape through. I consulted my higher power, and I knew, no, I'm here to make a point. And not even to making a point at that point. I just knew I didn't want and I wouldn't allow. So every time they brought me to another room, another nurse, another floor, all the way right up to triage, to anesthesia for surgery, I had to advocate for myself again. And I'm like, no opiates under any circumstances. And the doctor come out and he's like, oh, this is what we're going to do. And I said, what's in this anesthesia? And he goes, oh, as far as anesthesia goes, this is a pretty good one. And I said, listen, you can knock me out without giving me the opiates, correct? And he's like, well, yeah, but you're going to wake up and you're going to be sore. And I'm like, doc, no. I'm like, listen, I'm not. And here's the thing, guys, always be kind. They're just trying to help. They're just trying to look out for me. I wasn't mad at them. But I wanted them to understand that, no, I'm not allowing you to administer opiates. That is my drug of choice. That is something that has been destroying my life for decades. And again, yeah, you guys can responsibly control it here. But what happens when I leave here in 2 days? Like, no, I wouldn't do it. And so I very kindly, very adamantly advocated for myself and did not let them give me any opiates. And again, even after the surgery, like the nurses were great. They respected my choice. The doctors respected it, but I had to continue to advocate because their baseline was to medicate me. And I understand it was surgery, but I also knew what was right for me. And in the end, I ended up being released from the hospital 4 hours after my surgery, knowing I was driving myself home because I wasn't under the cloud of opiates. And I walked out of there with a newfound confidence because in my past, the first time I was offered drugs, I would always fail. And this time I was offered or told I needed to take drugs from a doctor, and I refused them. And I was driving myself home feeling a million times better a few hours later. It gave me a newfound confidence in my sobriety that I've never felt. And I've just been able to, boom, put that in my back pocket and continue to move on with my life. And, here we are coming up on 15 months now, and things have just gone so much better. And I don't have cravings. I don't connive. I don't desire to use drugs. But I also keep that in the back of my head that if I'm ever at a weak moment and somehow I decide and slip, more than likely that monster switch in the back of my head is going to be turned back on, and I'm going to go down that road of not wanting to do anything but no, thank you. God, I hope that never happens. And that's why I do everything I do. I wake up every morning and I drop to my knees and I start my day in prayer, reminding myself that the biggest gift I have in my life is my sobriety. All the things I cherish in my life are because I'm sober and I'm functioning as a normal human being. I'm working a recovery program to the best of my ability, so I'm finding out all these beautiful things about myself, and then I'm going out and applying them in the world. So I'm building relationships, and I'm building a business, and I have a future. This is by far the best my life has ever looked like. And I won't make any decision that's going to jeopardize that. But I also, at this point, don't have to do things that I used to have to do, like avoid an Easter party because it's serving alcohol. And who knows, somebody might be smoking pot in the back room. I'm okay with that. But if it was some old friends of mine that said, hey, we're having a celebration for so-and-so, and I know they're all going to be using cocaine and heroin and fentanyl and, doing Molly or any of the other nonsense, then no, of course I'm not going to go there. And again, my family doesn't do that. And I've cut out everybody in my life that used to do those things. But even if presented with a situation where that was going to be the case, I know I have no business going there. Yes, I know I'm in recovery and I'm promoting recovery and I don't want to use drugs, but I'm not going to fool myself to say, oh, I'm going to go there to talk them all out of drugs. It's not going to happen. And I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to make it a challenge and then he was going to be trying to get me to do drugs. Those are places I have no business going. So yes, I suffer from the disease of addiction. There are certain parameters I have to work within for the rest of my life. It is a lifelong disease. It will never be cured. And I get a daily reprieve as long as I work my program. And so that means I have to work within a certain set of parameters. I don't do certain things. I don't go hang out with people using drugs. I don't do stupid shit. And so long as I work within those parameters, then there's nothing else. My disease doesn't affect me in any other way, shape, or form. It doesn't preclude me from going out and running a successful business. It gave me a reason, gave me a purpose. It's given me a direction. I wear my recovery gear everywhere. I have a Lucid sobriety shop. You guys have seen the stuff I bought. I wear that all the time. And again, yesterday somebody picked up on it. This morning, and I was meeting my sponsor, somebody in the coffee shop. Hey, I love your sweater. 2 people, as a matter of fact, in the coffee shop. One guy let me know he's got 17 years. Like, I recover out loud, and I promote it, and it makes other people want to come up and tell me and engage with me. And guys, it's a beautiful thing. For me, it's either I'm a part of the problem, and I end up being a huge part of the problem, and I end up being all of my own problem, or I work in recovery, and I get to be part of the solution, and I get to advocate for recovery, and I get to recover out loud, and I get to help others here, I get to help others in my meeting, I get to work with my sponsor, I get to build this beautiful relationship. Tuesday, I get to go to a detox, a locked wing detox for the H&I, and I get to encourage people that are struggling in the earliest stages where they're just coming off the drugs, and I'm honored to be able to do that. So yeah, I don't go to certain places. I'm not going to go hang out with the crack dealer and think that's going to be good for me. I don't fool myself. And I don't lie to myself like I used to. Oh, well, I don't do drugs anymore, so I can go hang out anywhere. In the early days of quitting drinking, because my girlfriend at the time still drank, I'd go hang out in the bars, and it made me miserable. I wasn't enjoying myself, but I didn't know how to stick up for myself either because I wasn't working a recovery program. And that's the beauty of working this program. It's taught me the proper boundaries. It's taught me to put my needs first. It's taught me to pay attention to situations that got me in trouble in the past. And I'm able to avoid them today, guys. And we all can. We can't stop shit from happening in life, but we can be there for each other to guide each other through it. And so many people have my numbers. People in this last 15 minutes have reached out to me and let me know, hey, I'm going to my dad's boat this weekend, and they're going to be drinking, or other people will be drinking. And listen, okay, if that's what you got to do, if you feel comfortable going, but yeah, take my number. Call me in the middle if you need a break. Like, we don't have, sometimes we have to make hard decisions. And if it's too much for you, then choose recovery and stay home. But if you know you can handle it, then do the responsible thing and let people in recovery know you're going. Talk to your sponsor. Keep in communication with your higher power. Have phone numbers ready. Maybe make sure you got Uber app on your phone in case whoever you're with isn't ready to leave and it gets to be too much for you. Then have a backup plan, an exit strategy. Get out of there if times are tough. But first and foremost, guys, if you don't think you're up to the challenge, then don't challenge yourself. Your recovery is worth so much more than showing up at some party or I don't care if it's a wedding, whatever it is. Your recovery is worth more. And the next time it comes around, you'll have more experience and more strength, and eventually it won't bother you. I know for a fact. I watch videos on YouTube of drugs and bus and all these things, and I don't feel that, I want to go use. No, I feel sorrow. And it makes me want to promote recovery more. So I know that I'm in a good place, so I'm okay to do these things. The first time I start watching a video and it starts to make my mouth water and I start getting anxiety, I'm shutting that shit off. I don't need to feel like that. Guys, work a recovery program, but be honest with yourself and understand at the end of the day, you can't blame anybody else. We got high because we're addicts, not because somebody forced us, somebody offered it us. It is up to us to make the good decision. At the end of the day, work your program and have all the support around you can. But understand that at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with the consequences, so it is your decision. Choose wisely, my friends. Thank you so much. That is the video for today. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Happy Easter tomorrow. Be safe. We'll see you tomorrow. See you in the next one.